Grammy winner, international superstar Josh Groban kicking off his Harmony Tour this summer and coming to the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater June 25th here in the Chicagoland area. How excited are you to be playing these songs live?
I mean, excited is just as an understatement. We recorded this album right in the middle of the pandemic. There was a part of me that didn't even know if we'd ever be able to perform these songs live in the near future. So to have the opportunity to do it and to do it in these gorgeous outdoor venues, we are going to be just loving every step of this.
Let's talk a little bit about the songs that are on that album. Robbie Williams' Angels, one of my all-time favorite songs, is on there. Tell me, Both Sides Now, Shape of My Heart. How did you go ahead and pick these songs that you wanted on this album?
It's a really fascinating process when you're doing a classics album. In many ways, it's more complicated than doing an original album, because when you get new songs, there's no precedent to them. There's no history to them. So you're making them your own in that moment. But when you have songs that have been so beloved for so many years, it's an interesting thing. You want to do them justice, but also the incredible thing about the time we were in is that these classic songs wound up taking on really fresh and relevant meaning in the world that we are and we're in. So I loved singing them so much, and I loved kind of making them the soundtrack to all the things we were going through right now, and they continue to be that. And so it was hard. It was hard to pick the right ones, but ultimately the arrangement, the vocal, the relevance, it all helps the right songs go to the top.
You have Leslie Odom Jr., you have Sarah Bareilles guest starring on the album. They both have Broadway connections. You were in Natasha Pierre in The Great Comet of 1812. Are we going to see you on stage maybe sometime after the tour?
I would love that. I'm always talking to Broadway friends and directors and producers. And, when I took my final bow at Great Comet, I said to myself, oh man, I am going to miss this a lot. I was exhausted. I was really ready for a break. It's the hardest I ever worked in my life, but it's a community that I feel is just has my heart forever. And so if the right thing comes along, it's something that I would love to dive into again.
You've been performing in the Chicagoland area for many years, throughout your career. Is there anything that you love to either see or eat or visit, during your time here when you have a chance?
I could eat my way through Chicago and never get full. I mean, I love Chicago so much. It's got a very special history for me. I mean, going there for the first time, wound up being the first of many times when Oprah was there. And then performing, for everywhere from the Chicago Theater to the United Center, and being a part of the philanthropy, the great work that Chicago does for arts education. It's a city that is near and dear, and not to mention the fact that there's a lot of good eats there and a lot of good people there. It's always an incredible crowd, so we really can't wait to go back.
And of course, one of the first couple of times that you visited, You Raise Me Up was, one of your first big songs there. And in a previous life, I used to DJ weddings, and it was always a song that we played all the time. But I love the song, but I had a deeper appreciation for it because I saw how much it meant to people on their big special day. In the beginning of your career, when you recorded it, did you, and how have you realized the impact of that song, especially as the years have gone on?
We didn't know that song would be a single. We just thought it was a beautiful song. I heard it in a taxi cab in Ireland many, many years ago. And then somebody came into the studio and said, hey, there's this song. I'm like, that's a taxi cab song. I know that song. And so we recorded it. We knew it was beautiful, but we didn't know that it would have the impact that it's had. And it's interesting that you mentioned the weddings, because I get so many people writing me about having used it for a wedding song. But the power of a song like that is I also get messages from people saying that it helped them get through loss, that it helped them get through difficult times as well. And so when you have a song that's got that kind of an uplifting and broad universal message, it's really limitless how many people's lives it can touch. So it's a very lucky thing.
You know what? You just pitched a great idea. So You Raised Me Up, you heard it in a taxi cab. Maybe the next album can be taxi cab songs. You just listen to music, and these are the songs that you record.
We'll team up with HBO Taxi Cab Confessions. Remember that one?
Yeah, and, exactly.
We'll do a mashup. We'll bring it back. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'll drive and I'll punk people by singing to them.
That's amazing. I do want to ask you, I also love watching you on the late night shows, all the funny things you do with Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. Where did you get your sense of humor? I mean, because you crack me up just as much as some of the big name comedians out there.
That's right. You're very kind. My dad's a real funny guy. My dad has like a very Groucho Marx kind of dry sense of humor. So I grew up in a really silly, jokey. We expressed love through goofiness and humor and wit. So I grew up in a really kind of very funny family, and then also, you know, when you're kind of the introvert and the outcast in school, you use humor as a shield sometimes. You know, there's nothing that's going to get you out of a fight like a good unexpected joke. So you know, it's just one of those things. And then of course I had this voice that was just serious as a heart attack, and it was people like Jimmy Kimmel who gave me opportunities to kind of show kind of the weirder side. And now I feel like it's just a hodgepodge. Like when I go out on tour, it's just, you know, hopefully if you can laugh, you can cry, and everything in between. Then we're having a good time.
And you get to bring all that to a Radio City Music Hall variety show. And Dr. Ruth was there, last time, so who knows, what's going to happen this time around.
Right. That's right. Nothing like Dr. Ruth giving 6,000 people sex advice on Valentine's Day. Yeah, that's a show that we're really just so excited to get back out there. We got 3 shows in April, 7, 8, and 9 at Radio City Music Hall, and that's a show where it's just anything goes. We'll have guests, we'll have, you know, audience participation. There'll be, of course, a lot of songs, but that's more of a variety show that we're excited to do.
Josh, thank you so much for your time today. Kicking off the Harmony Tour in June, coming to the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater June 25th. Tickets on sale on Friday at 10 a.m. And best luck. I can't wait to see you this summer.
Thanks, Rudy. See you guys there.